go. Last time it just took a second for. Okay, no, there we go. It's on YouTube again. All right, and then we do the announcements as per usual. And then I gotta wait for Me6 to. Is Me? Oh no! I was really hoping Me6 would use its fucking AI to realize I do not want your messages anymore. But that's a bit of a much of an ask, I guess. All right, as per tradition, we wait a few minutes. Let people come on in. That's right, Sayla. Now cease your bickering. I kind of wish the title screen updated if like your latest status of broken or like clothing attire. Like I think the person we hung out with last gave us some new threads. So I think that would have been cool to like see. It's like, our ribs are no longer broken. We got some new clothing and we're able to stand upright. Then again, they're releasing this like every week. Oh, you're going through. What's up? What's going on? As Sayla claws and bites my index finger. Yeah, yes. I have so much food to eat. It's too much, and I have a migraine. I have to eat it now. Can't even enjoy the food you're eating. You have too much of the food. My only recommendation is down as much water as you can. Like, yes, that'll mean you get to eat less food, but I think that the water will help you in the long run, especially if you, also from what I've learned, if you have a lot of water, it helps you to process food, so I guess throughout the day, you'll be able to eat technically more. I have 3 slices of chicken, some soup, and 10 slices of meat, also a bowl of rice. None of that sounds like it's going to be good as it cools down. Maybe the slices of meat. Maybe. But rice, that could be easily reheated. Chicken and the soup, though. I say finish what you can of the chicken, unless you're at a restaurant. But even then, the rule still applies. Where some of that feels like it could be reheated pretty easily. Yeah, chicken definitely goes first. The chicken is crispy. Yeah. I would not trust any oven or air fryer to reheat that crispiness. I have to eat all of it in an hour. Why? That just feels like you're at a challenge or whatever. It's like you got an hour to eat all of this. It's one of those pay $29 for a full meal thing. Best of luck. Of know nothings and know it alls. All right. Apparently, this guy on the left is pretty peak. So we will save him for last as we deal with this abomination on the right. God, you have a headache. Dehydration? Only if you're thirsty for companionship. Are you hurt? Only your heart. And aches for more pals. Is it withdrawal? Only from your addiction to new buddies. I haven't been eating much in the past couple of weeks, so this seemed like a reasonable solution. Little did I know of the migraine waiting for me. uh, Life just threw you a left hook for no fucking reason besides it could. Is it withdrawal? Only from your addiction to new buddies. Really, there's only one cure for what ails you. Friendship. You wonder whose sweet medicine you'll be imbibing this time. This is a man you could take home, and your parents would trust him. Why do I need to talk to this abomination? He is a handsome man. He kind of reminds me of Ida from My Hero, where they just look like an upstanding gentleman. Handsome. So here you are, in jail. You always knew you'd end up here eventually, but you were expecting a human jail, not this. It all happened so fast. You were waltzing down another Alternian street in search of friends when you heard the telltale sound of machinery behind you. Before you could escape, some giant metal drone with a rocket ass scooped you up and flew away with you. We get handsome and then we get rats. We get some kind of creature. You were honestly surprised that the drone didn't execute you on sight. We've tried to do that before, after all. Perhaps your numerous shenanigans have grown so vast and ridiculous, someone wants to see you in person before you die, only to have the chance to ask you what the fuck. In any case, you aren't complaining. Not about being brought in alive, at least. You have plenty of other things to complain about, though. This cell sucks. It's hard and cold, full of this gross looking moss that could probably kill you since everything else on this planet sure can. There's a couple of patchwork holes in the back wall of your cell, which aren't enough to wriggle your way out through, but are enough to let in the light from the outside. You've been here since a few hours before dawn, and now it's midday, which means scorching rays of sunlight are streaming their way into your cell, forcing you to dart around to the shadiest spots as the sun makes its way across the sky. As if that wasn't enough, it's also hammering rain outside, which really isn't doing much to stymie the sunlight, and you think the rain might be acidic too. Fun! Intermingled with the rain, you've been hearing some sounds coming from other rooms. Interrogations, maybe? Torture? Whatever it is, you were not a fan. And would somebody please fix the leak in the roof? You have to listen to one more drop of rain exploding onto the floor like a nuclear fucking bomb. Your shit is going to take an extended sabbatical from the handle. To conclude, it's not great. You'd like out. Right now, preferably. Now? Oh, god damn it. You were hoping that someone would conveniently appear in time for your eternal monologue, but no such luck. Okay, whew, there she is. Your new savior is small. Probably the smallest troll you've met so far, with the possible exception of Amicia, and she looks about as young as Amicia as well. She's got wild pigtails sprouting from her head and a twitched look in her eye, like she's going to start sprinting the second she hears a sound. She opens her cell door with a creak and gestures down the hallway with a quick jerk of her hand. Come on, with me now. Quickly head down. Keep quiet. No asking questions. Sure. You follow her down the hallway, keeping quiet as instructed, even though you have so many questions you want to ask her. Questions like what her name is, or where are... Actually, give me a second. Let me make a save here. Instead, you hurry closely behind as he takes you to a stairwell in the back of the building and up multiple flights of stairs. I'm going to turn down the noise a bit. We'll do 12. Peeking out the window of each door you pass, you see what seems to be an evidence locker, and then a row of tightly packed cubicles, and then a long, winding hallway. This is where she opens the door and ushers you through. The hallway is full of electronically locked doors with troll signs on them, the overwhelming majority of which are teal. The only other present here seems to be automated cleaning robots. You're unsurprised to see that troll Roombas come with their own knives pre-attached. She punches a series of numbers and letters into a keypad besides one of the doors, wearing a sign and a name, and then slips inside and you follow. Ooh, here we are, my hive away from hive. You could be a bit wilder now, but no shouting. That'd just be weird as hell, buddy. Oh, and my name Torona, by the way. You politely refrain from shouting as you introduce yourself to her. Vernon pulls up a chair and sits down at her desktop, tapping some keys. So what we're gonna do here is I'm just going to go ahead and access your files in the system. Shouldn't be too hard to find since you are a weird alien, and yep, here we go. That's what we were looking for. Time to make a few edits. She leans in, fingers flying quickly over the keys. She's absurdly fast on a keyboard, her eyes darting back and forth across the screen. Now, normally I wouldn't pull anything this risky, and I certainly wouldn't be helping out a criminal, but I have it on a good source that you're not the kind of person we should be letting rot in a cell or worse. Right now, you're in our system on a lot of weird and serious offenses. But you and I, we know this only thing you're really guilty of is to keep your head and shoulders attached, yeah? Just got quick here and to weed a few things, and there we go. Queen, your queen. Wow, just like that, huh? Wow. Oh. Just like that, huh? You thank her profusely, and even begin to consider groveling at her feet, but she cuts you off. Listen, I'm just doing the grunt work for you. Wasn't really my decision to swing you. Let's just say you and I have a mutual friend, wink wink, nudge nudge. I'll run errands for him sometimes in exchange for information, and I just happen to be pulling on all day over here anyway, so I was in the right place at the right time. This mutual friend of yours sounds like a dead ringer for Malik. Wow, knowing a cerulean in high places is already paying some great dividends. It beats our data, at least. All you got from her were some really weird DMs on Twitter from her stream followers. Arteta. Yeah. Yeah, that bitch. Anyway, speaking of being in the right place, what is this place anyway? This place is, well, it's a lot of things. Whale and a courthouse, an office, and a whole lot more. Basically, if you're a teal looking to learn how to do teal things, I'm just a little guy. Yo. This is where you go for a hand-on internship. Most of us, the law, were weighted, of course, but where a couple semi-weighted fields for the go-getters looking to do something a little different. Like me. Yep. I bet yourself just dying to know what I get up to in these hollowed halls, don't you? I only know how to change the L's to the W's. I don't know how to do the other one. Surely a brilliant mind like Miss Croissant is doing some real important work here, is what I bet you're thinking. And you are absolutely correct, my friend. Waste your battle bot on this, A few clicks of the wriggly, bulbous mouse, and her Huscop loads up several images. You glance at the screen, and the recognition center in your brain goes haywire with dopamine. Alien culture or not, you know memes when you see them. God, you miss memes. She's just making memes. I'm doing some real important work here. What are you doing? Oh, you're making some dank memes. Check it out. Check it out. They're a little corny, but I know Twizza's gonna love them. She gonna love them. She's a real sucker for this kind of thing. One of them is an image macro featuring Trizza doing her makeup with the caption "Trizza so hot, rebels are not." Another seems to feature troll brains, at least you hope those are brains, of varying sizes and chemo colors. Being a rebel is the small maroon brain, sympathizing with rebels is the medium-sized olive brain, and worshipping Trizza is the giant I'm gonna be honest, she's making some dank memes, alright. These ones will be going up on the web soon, but for now I've got 20 other memes circulating. See, I've made a bunch of fake Twitter accounts and got totally teachy trolls to automate them for me. He was hyped out of the excitement nub to do some work on Twizzler's behalf, I tell you. Some of these accounts just pretend to be regular trolls, and other accounts best jokes, nightly, big, funny, relatable, laugh humor, you know? I manage the app while I listen. I'm glad. Hopefully able to finish before the hour's over. They're whacking up the follow each week, and the point of them is to put Trizza's memes out there. And the point is to put them these Trizza memes out there. That's how you get them. You solve a couple of innumerous jokes and cute Proby's pics, and then blam, suddenly you're spreading the good word of the Empire, and everyone accepts it because your Twitter account is so funny and hip. I call it meme-maganda. Meme-maganda. It's gonna be the next big thing, I tell you. It does seem like a pretty clever way of spreading propaganda. Really effective on today's modern youth. It also deeply unnerves you, but you leave that part out. There's just something wrong about memes being used for evil. Word for a spoonful that isn't a spoonful. Thank you. Glad someone appreciates all the hard work I'm doing here instead of brushing me off. I've had a lot of overtime putting out propaganda for the Empire lately. This between you and me, although this isn't exactly much of a secret anymore. There are talks of a rebellion brewing, like a real actual rebellion big scale, instead of a bunch of high bloods getting paranoid because a bunch of burgundies looked at them funny. It's pretty scary actually, and I hope I would get swept up in all of it. Something nasty breaks out. Yeah, that's the vibe you've been getting. You're about to ask for more info about this rebellion when she cuts you off and keeps rambling on. Seems like she got a lot to say. I got the impression that no one else here listens to her, possibly because she's still so young compared to most of them. But saving you from a jail cell is a good way to get you to pay attention. But here's the thing, despite bringing a whole lot of potential trouble, it's also a great opportunity to show the Empire just how valuable my skill set will be for them. See, I've got it all planned out. First, I need to prove to Twizza how useful and clever I am, and how helpful I can be for her regime. Then, when Twizza comes of age, shall dethrone the current Empress and take her place. Most trolls just love Twizza, and those who don't are gonna get themselves cold real quick, so I'm sure there will be plenty of support when the time comes for their duel. Once she's in full power, I will flag myself a nice position as a propaganda minister. And if I'm real lucky, I can wheedle my way into being assistant to his honorable tyranny himself. His honorable tyranny? You don't think you've heard of this guy before. You assume he's a particularly high-ranking troll in the legislative process? Oh, no. He's just a fuck-off huge monster who passes judgment on criminals by eating them. Or eating anyone who bugs him wooey. He presides over particularly trustworthy trials, especially at the extreme courts. In retrospect, you should have known, if monsters can be parents, sure they can be judges too. But what exactly is the appeal here? Who wouldn't want to be big and handsome and strong enough to devour anyone who annoys you? It's a perfect wife, I tell you. Yeah, this is definitely a kid. Yep. I think I've spoken to more than a few girls who've mentioned that they believe they truly peaked in life around third. It's like late elementary school when they are taller and stronger than the boys and they could just beat on them easily. Fair. As it stands, since I can't be, I can at least be his best buddy and perfect little helper. Besides, doing all the behind-the-scenes work is a lot safer than trying to hunt down or prosecute criminals. I'll tell you that much. I mean, yeah, he might eat me, but that's just a normal workplace safety hazard, Willie. Nothing I can't handle. But he does have it all planned out, doesn't she? You're impressed. Thank you. Reagan, they can't do it all alone. I'm gonna need some help. On the way from a very talented and clever associates or two. I bet you know who I'm talking about. Her Lucis? Her classmates? No, dummy. Shh. Here I'm trying to butter you up and it flies right over your think pan. I'm talking about you. I need your help. And I think after bailing you out of that jam, I've owned it, wouldn't you say? The old I raked my claws down your back, you wake yours down mine deal with us, you know? Petroleums are still as inscrutable as ever, but you do know a thing or two about claws and about helping people earn their good races. What you need? You never hear the old adage, heal Pock? And while a lot of peels have been talking about the strange alien going around getting all buddy-buddy with the cast. The way I see it, someone like you, someone that might just know how to get me into the offices and dig up some dirt on them and the potential rebel connections. I keep saying they should start shelling out for Gwanscan tech, but nobody ever listens to me. No way, no how. Regular password system ought to be enough right now. They wish. Yeah, they really wish that those locks were as secure as they think they are. You can figure out the codes, no problem, I'm sure. What do you say, pal? How about you help me and I help you in the Empire and root out that rebel scum? Oof. You're not particularly keen on betraying your friends. You do owe Tirona a favor now. You'd love to make another pal while you're at it. There's got to be some way you can move your way out of this mess. You tell her sure, you'll offer to some help. If you're gonna hit up someone's office, it should be... No. So, top or bottom options, what I'm thinking. Top one seems like the safest choice, since he was all about the process or whatever. Tagiri is just... I think let's do Tagora. Yeah, that's a good idea. He will spot and go talk, and he's always got the weight of gossip. You think he'd be my kind of guy, but he's also such a squeeze, like a real queepy queepster. Not to mention he charges out the sniff tube for all his info. Man's finished eating? Hell yeah. I hope you're able to keep it down. No Frank, I'll handle myself. Oh, but imagine the scandals we turn out to be a real Webble all along. Will help we find something on him here. After some elite hacking, that is, finding his wriggling day into the keypad, the door to his office clicks open. The two of you slip inside and glance around. You are immediately reminded of his hive. Almost eerily reminded of it, in fact. Did he just order copies of all the same minimalist aesthetic furniture has it sent to his office? That's... Well, you don't know exactly what that is, but it's certainly impressive. You know, I'm not sure if that vase is wigglation. Take a picture of it in case, will you? Sure thing. And if you happen to accidentally delete the picture later, well, actually, you've accidentally deleted a bunch of pictures before. Figuring out your troll phone has been an ordeal. You line up your camera, take the shot. Fuck. And you're about to press the button. Your phone received an incoming call from someone, and you end up hitting the answer call button instead. Now you're getting to be trapped into a social encounter that you weren't meant to be prepared for. No, wait, it's just Tagoro. That's no problem at all. He's gregarious, and easy to talk to it. You're standing in his office. Fuck, again. Oh, she just ran. Throw on your most practice. Everything is perfectly fine expression. You try to angle the camera so you can't tell where you are. My apologies for bothering you on such short notice. I recently learned through the grapevine that you may have been responsible for changes in Ziggy's attitude as of late. I thought it would be prudent to let you know that... Wait, is that my office? Did you break into my office? Oh, no, God, no, it's not his, but just an office that coincidentally happens to look exactly like his. His face has been frozen mid-smile, and now it slowly seems to twist until the smile doesn't look nearly as friendly or genuine as it did a moment ago. He starts to laugh, little raspy chuckles under his breath. I see. More the fool was I to ever believe I could trust a fellow liar. Is this Galka's work? No, it can't be. He doesn't do that kind of subterfuge. It was all just a game to you. Yes, that must be it. Of course it was. You're not here to make friends. What? No, that's exactly what you're here to do. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna... Let's see. Did I make a save? I did make a save for this, so then we'll just hop right back. The bills I so graciously forward for your sake. Well, no matter. You can expect a very hefty invoice to arrive via email as soon as I finish typing it up. No, please no. It doesn't have to end this way. You're just trying to secure another friendship. He knows how it goes, right? Saying or doing anything for a bit of social gain. Oh, but of course. And I'd be very happy to continue our business relations in the future. Once I've been reimbursed in full for my time and expenditures. Farewell. He ends the call and his face disappears. The friendly little boy sound that Gripe makes can't possibly underscore the finality and tragedy of the situation. Your heart is truly broken. But hey, at least you can trade one friend for another, right? Now that she's seen what you're willing to sacrifice for her, surely Torona will... Torona? Ah, shit. At some point while you were distracted, she made a break for it. Now you're left with naught but a hefty fine and an ache in your heart where friendship used to be. After mulling it over for a while, you decided Tagiri is the safest choice. Sure, he's a guy with a sword, but he's also by far the least likely to harbor rebel sympathies, so you won't be getting anyone in trouble here. Yeah, Tagiri. Now that's an interesting choice, I tell you what. He's always sucking up to the pool's purpose and trying to make himself look all cool and knowledgeable about WoW stuff, so you would think he'd be clean, but maybe he just is all once. I'm working on a video about Webble sympathizers right now, and actually that's one of my big bold points that I go over. How sometimes the guy flying too hard to look like he's the Webble is actually as far off of the Webble as he gets. Also, yeah, let's see what this guy's hiding. Why don't we? I think the right choice is going to be the one that does have real rebel sympathies. But what happens is because they're so good at it, no evidence is found, so it clears their name. Moseying on over to his door, you consider the keypad. This shouldn't be a hard password to guess. It's gotta be the name of one of his favorite animes, right? You punch one in. And nope. A buzzer sounds. You try another. Nada. But to your delight, the door clicks and begins to slide open after the third anime title. Glance over your shoulder and see a Torona beaming at you from right behind you. Then turn back to the door and yikes. A Kanon comes swinging out towards you on a wire, and it nearly dives out of the you nearly dive out of the way before it connects, crashing to the floor in the process. You groan and stagger back to your feet and hear a familiar voice sounding from a speaker in Tagiri's room. Foolish evildoer! Foolish evildoer! Did you really think it'd be that simple? You've fallen for my trap. Your 3 pitiful guesses were all it took to seal your doom. Not that it's going to do you any good while you bleed out on the floor. Sayonara, trespasser. The message seems to cut off there, but then there's some muffled sounds like a microphone being moved. What do you think, Tadashi? It's gonna look so cool when I show it off my colleagues. You breathe a sigh of relief. That Kanon was aiming right at your head. You almost got skewered. Talk about a close one, right, Toronto? Toronto? Your nerd emoji voice got better. Do we really have to go with the real sympathizer? It's gotta be Tyzius. She runs a tight, if sleep-deprived ship. You'll give it a good try, fail to find anything useful, and Toronto will appreciate your attempt. Tyzius, huh? Yeah, she's got that vibe you know? Talk to Watt about improving the justice system, and what kind of person does that, huh? A Webble simplifies it, that's who. The Ethodian justice system worked just fine for hundreds of sweeps. The only person who ought to be proposing changes is Twizzle herself, but obviously there's nothing to change, or she's done it herself already. Anyways, this is Tizzy's door right over there, so once you're done, start working your magic. An idea comes to you. You start tapping away at your phone, much to Tirona's chagrin. Hey buddy, we'll try to break into someone's office. There's no time to play Flappy Torah Screenshot. You explain that you're looking up Tyzius on your phone to consolidate information and improve your guess of guessing your password. Whoopsie, sorry, I'm a little anti-heal, I guess. Carry on. Turning on the keypad, you start inputting your guesses. You try the birthday listed on Tyzius' Chitter profile. Nope. Even the name of her mate sprint doesn't work. Then something clicks. Everyone expects a long, complex password, right? You tried just 2 paltry digits and said 69. This is how you know this is the right one. This is how you know. You see that and you're like, nope. It's like when you roll a D100 and you roll 69, you go, all right, what do I roll for crit? Because you hit 100, except it's just 69. But 69 will always be infinitely better than 100. I managed to convince my brother to make it a house rule for when we were playing Call of Cthulhu that if you hit 69, that counted as hitting 100, or I think either it was as a 1. I think higher is bad, lower is better, I believe. And just so you know, we did manage to hit 69 a handful of times in that campaign. Click. The light goes green and the door to her office slides open. Bingo. Feeling pretty chipper about your breaking and entering skills, you usher Torona inside with an exaggerated bow. She cackles and skips right in, making her way over to a husk top sitting on Tyzia's crowded desk. There's papers and old mugs lying around everywhere, and the rest of the room is about as disorganized as the desk, with towering stacks of books threatening to collapse you so much as breathe wrong. The Empire already monitors all microwave patients, of course, but we've got tools for those sneaky sneaks who try to hide things on the cloud. Torona produces a small device, bright red with gold accents, and plugs into what appears to be a USB slot on the husk top. It wriggles upsettingly. I'll go through her files and start looking through all her books, and you start looking through all the books and follows, okay? You offer a thumbs up and turn your attention to the absolutely massive piles of literature that is strewn throughout the office. You're not really giving it your full effort, as into prying to Tyzius' stuff, but you get the sense that she isn't hiding anything here anyway. Also, give me a second. Question. So we got the bad endings for Tyzius, the lawyer troll trying to make a better future for everyone, and the main character just mentioned something about her mate Sprit, which I don't remember a mention in that chapter at all. So somehow our character learned in the time that Tyzius has a mate Sprit. Is there another game that was supposed to... She mentioned it once? Okay. I do not remember that one mentioned then. Interesting. I'm learning so much right now. Anyways. Events happen between volumes, but she did mention it. Okay. Behind you, Torona is clicking through folders on the desktop, the exasperation in her voice steadily growing. Useless school reading assignments, copies of court transcripts, bunch of nudes. It's all just normal teal stuff. There's nothing important on here at all. Where's she hiding it? Turner pulls away from the desktop and dives into the stack of books with the guts of a small child and a ball pit, running through pages as quickly as she can. It isn't long before she gives up that pursuit too, emerging with a pile and a shower of loose pages. Oh, I can't find any evidence of water was anywhere! No hidden folder that hooks up, no secret flash between the pages of a book, nothing! She stomps back and forth, pacing around the room and scratching at her face absent-mindedly. Maybe there just isn't anything to find. Is that so bad? Yes, if she's not bad, it's super bad. Bro, look, see? I'm not big and I'm not strong, and even if I get a wolf split when I'm older, it won't change that I don't like to fight. That's just not what I'm cut out to do. I'm a thinker and a listener and a talker. Knowledge is power and it's the only kind of power I'm good with. It's the only kind that'll keep me in the game. Everyone will look out for me nice and get off their cases because they know I've always got the dirt. But all these those 50 crafty children keep trying to hide all the secrets from me. I'm gonna be a hope if I can't get over on them. Corona yanks at her pigtails and slumps down against the wall, looking as frazzled as ever you've seen her. Calls for a pep talk. You sit down across from her and offer a gentle smile. You know where she's coming from. When you came here, you were a mess. You still kind of are. All you had was your guts, your mind, and your goofy charisma. You've been blundering your way across the planet, but somewhere in between all of the blundering, you made friends. You gained skills. You figured out how to keep surviving even when it seemed impossible. You can do it, she can too. Sure, she may not be as big and strong as you'd like. She won't always win. Sometimes there's going to be days like today where she doesn't succeed. But she's got a spark in her. You can see it. That tells you she'll be just fine as long as she keeps her head up and tries to hang in there. Corona perks right up. Your motivational speech game is really on the ball lately. Yeah. You're right. This might have been a bust, but I sure ain't. I've already got all kinds of connections and powers and skills. I mean, the guy I won those errands for, he says I'm one of the smartest and cleverest skills he's ever met. And that I'm really mature for my age and... The goat. The realist depiction of a college girl who doesn't go party every weekend. Here she is. You never find out what else he says because you're interrupted by the sci-fi whoosh of the office doors opening as Tizia steps through. There's a long, awkward pause before she raises an eyebrow at Corona. Now, just what in the hell are you two doing in my office? Corona begins a stammering response, but Tizia jerks her head towards the door. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to get out. Or right now. He turns to you. Not to you. I do like her expression right there. It truly feels like deer in the headlights. Like they managed to distill that into this creature. This child. We need to have a chat. Corona flashes you a terrified look before scurrying out of the room, door slaying shut behind her. Tizia glances at the door, then pulls you towards the most secluded corner of the room where books are piled so high they practically reach the ceiling. She speaks in a low, hushed whisper. A good idea, because you'd bet a troll buck or two that Corona's listening outside the door. Hey, so, that was some good thinking. Texted me as soon as we got Texted me as soon as you got your palm husk back. Oh, yep, because we had our phone out and it's like, yeah, I just forgot the pin or whatever. You shrug humbly, getting good at leveraging your bountiful stackades of friends. I wonder what you think's gonna do to you. There's a lot of rumors about me. Most of them untrue. But when you look as tired as I do every day, trolls whisper. She chuckles lightly and takes a sip of water before sighing. Can't believe she thought I'd ever be dumb enough to keep incriminating documents in my office. She must be really desperate to prove herself. This is exactly my point. Look how fucked up it is here. Everyone's trying to climb over each other out of the muck and pull the rust down, like shell scuttlers in a seafood storage device. Poor girl. Crabs in a bucket. Poor girl. She thinks she's got everyone in the palm of her hand, but she's being played as much as any of the rest of us schmucks. Another sigh. You feel like sighing may as well be Tizia's second quirk. But you've already heard enough from me about all that. Go pretend I chewed you the fuck out or something. I need to reorganize all my shit now that she's ruined my old system. House looks far better organized than it did when you walked in, actually. But you're not about to split hairs over it with Tizia's just bailed you out of potential disaster. You thank her, give her a quick hug, and then slip out the office. Corona nearly falls over herself, stumbling away from the door when she was clearly trying to listen in. Boy, your wheel's still alive in one piece. That must have been a real close one. You know what she does to people who pass away? Well, I'll give you a hint, pal. It starts with disbowelment and only gets worse from there, huh? How'd you make it out? Oh, talking your way out of a jam. It's a total breeze. Corona seems star-eyed and impressed. You sure do know how to handle yourself, especially for a weird alien. I think you and I ought to stick together. Technically, you don't owe me anything anymore, but us widow people were best in numbers, yeah? You could use a friend like me. Smile. Basking in the now familiar glow of camaraderie. Yeah, you could use a friend like her. And he thinks you could use a friend like you as well. You did good. All right, gamers, are we ready for apparently the one Violet Indigo that isn't out to hurt me? Look at you. Look at this man. He looks at you, pathetic, but then look at that smile. Gallic. I think she was fun. I think she was fun. Definitely not the worst kid character. Like, she just had, like, all the energy of a kid, essentially, and, like, also the worry, so it is kind of like, eh, this rat child. Alright. It's a chilly night. Not a bad way, though. It's the kind of crisp air that invigorates you. You think you might just fuck around and make a new friend. You think you might just fuck around to make a friend. What a line. You're busy breathing in a big old lungful of the stuff when you hear someone call up behind you. Excuse me, alien. I'd like a word. It's phrased like a request, but delivered like a command. You don't recognize the voice, so you do some mental calculations as you turn. Whoever it is seems like they know who you are, which could be good or really, really bad. You could make it to Zebra's Hive in a few blocks if you had to make a run for it. That's not exactly the place you'd like to take Sanctuary, though, so you figure the risk of talking to this mysterious troll is worth it. By the time you've rotated around to face them, you've got a big friendly grin on. Nani? Nani? It's a bit of work to keep it there when you see who it is. Tall, sharp suit, well filled out, curly hair, cute little Christmas tree looking horns, an expression that screams, would pay someone else to bisect you if you call anything but about him cute. It's a good thing you don't choose to run, because last time you saw this guy, he was sprinting away from your sparkly self at top speeds. You'd have no chance. Oh, so this is the guy that the one lawyer guy was trying to impress, I believe. Yeah, this is when you're with Tagora. Interesting. So this is the guy that also looked down on you when you passed by with Tagora, when you chose not to bathe. He strides towards you now, considerably less fear, but as much purpose. Playing it friendly, you hold out your hand for him to shake. He takes it immediately, like it's an instinct. Yes. I am Gallic Zeeksy. You are the alien. Nice to meet you officially, etc., etc., etc. It's imperative that we speak. As it is a matter of some importance, I hope you will take my request seriously and follow me to my hive, where we can talk more openly. It is of your best interest to comply. Okay, so there are... I forget what they're called, but essentially there is supposed to be some reference or link to that. Oh, okay then. We've got a wordy motherfucker over here, huh? A short and sweet, hey, let's hang out would have worked on your friend thirsty self, but that's fine. I don't have anything else to be doing, so why not follow this pushy high blood back to his house? Wonderful. This way. He stays true to his word and doesn't say anything else as he leads you to his hive, but you watch the way he clenches his teeth and flicks his eyes back at you as he walks. He's about to explode, holding it all in, the walk a little slower just to bask in the need emanating off him. Still dizzy with the feeling of having your present wanted so badly, you trip a bit heading up a wide flight of stairs, and there are a lot of them. Jesus, he could have warned you at least. You look up as you pull yourself to your feet, the stairs leading up to an old stone building covered with ivy that creeps around some pointy-topped windows and up to the tops of turrets. It looks like the kind of place a crusty old professor might walk out of, followed by a flock of khaki-clad rich boys. The doors opens with a creak. You do not hear anyone debating the difference between a movie and a film in there, but you do hear bleeding. Sounds reasonable. Goats? Sheep? Once inside, Gallic beckons you through the foyer into another room, this time unlatching what looks like a very tall metal baby gate to lead you both in. He checks the latch twice after he shuts it, then gestures to a pair of studded high-baked chairs on either side of a fire. Please take a seat. I'll make us some coffee. You will not have had any like this before, as the taste is drastically different from the slop you get from a public coffee shop. And he does have an annotation there, so I forget what it's called. But essentially a reference. You do take that seat, and you look around while he fucks with an antique espresso machine. He has a desk covered in papers, open books, and a typewriter. And along the walls, there are bookshelves leading up to the vaulted ceiling. Everything has an air of purposeful messiness to it. Like he pulled some of his cooler titles to leave laying around for you to see. How flattering. You mentioned that this must be one of those personal jerk-off book hives Tasius was talking about. Excuse me? Never mind. You clear your throat and ask him what he wanted to talk about. He hands you a cup and sits down in the other chair. Of course, I just wanted to clear up a misunderstanding between us. You may be under the false impression that I am uninformed. Read the attributes of rainbow drinkers. You may even think that you successfully fooled me into thinking you were one yourself when we first met. I just had not previously encountered one in real life, nor had ever seen an alien for that matter. Furthermore, when I saw you before, you were in the company of one Tagora Jorkic. I was making the most reasonable assumption possible given the information I had available. It makes complete sense if you think about it. Look at the number. Ooh, can you actually? Ah, very nice. I live right around the corner. This is not a threat, rather is a genuine expression of the critical nature of my request. Oh, it does give you clarification. Okay, I like that. That is actually really cool. You can do that. Oh, I like that. This is not a threat, rather is a genuine expression of the critical nature of my request. I live right around the corner. If it were a threat, you would know. Yeah, because they wouldn't mess around. You'd just be dead. I like that. I really like that. Okay. Hopefully you misunderstanding me. I spent considerable time in the interim researching you, of course, which is why I was able to track you down easily. Rainbow fucker extraordinaire. He wishes. Rainbow fucker extraordinaire. He wishes. He looks at you expectantly. Uh-oh, you guess it's your turn to say something. Is that all? Man, what the fuck is this guy talking about? You thought whatever you wanted was gonna be a way bigger deal. You want to get this straight, you say. He dragged you all the way here under a thick veil of secrecy just so he could tell you that he knows what he's talking about. That he was actually right and not wrong, smart not dumb, specifically about rainbow drinkers. Yes, is this confusing to you? I cannot have people thinking incorrect things about me. Technically, not only specifically about that topic, but as the pertinent piece of information in this conversation context. Technically, not only specifically about that topic. Okay. Cool. No, you were just checking. You tap your fingers on the leather arm of the chair. Is that all he want from you? No, yeah, I suppose. As long as we're in agreement and you do not intend to spread any misinformation, you promise. That is great news. There's a long pause. He looks disappointed somehow. You're not sure if this is what he was expecting, but it sure as hell is what is transpiring. I will show you out. He wants me to fight back? He wants me to fight back? You laugh and then realize he's 100% serious. He really cares that much what you think of him. It reminds you a bit of you a few months ago. Wait, a few months ago? Or, a few days ago. Still, you know what it's like. You try to tread the line between humoring him and easing him out of having to care that fucking much. You tell him you'd like him even if he was a complete rube, a total rainbow drinking lore idiot, if his incompetence knew no bounds. I get it. Oh heck, if the barely contained panic in his eyes is any indication, he's not at all placated by this. Cut off that line of a friend fine galing and try something you hope is a little more his speed. It must be cool to have a primary source sitting in his own jerk-off book hype though, right? He exhales, gathering himself a little. I am not sure why you keep calling it that. Stop immediately. But I do admit I am interested in the chance to learn more about you. His fingers twitch. You hope he doesn't mean in like creepy dissection kind of way. You are free to leave, right? You glance anxiously at the locked baby gate. What? Oh, of course you can leave. Just because I am a highblood does not mean I'm a fucking sadist. My interest of you is purely academic and friendly. Furthermore, that gate is not for you. You should know by now that the recollection is not bound to any one cast. I know you are amenable to that kind of thing. Do not worry about it. If all goes well this evening, we'll not even have to make use of it. You do definitely worry about it, but not in a present, actionable way. Just in a sort of an under-the-surface self-preservation way. You've worried about, everything that's tried to end your run here on Eternia so far. Plus, he offered you friendship. You'll reach your heart into that monkey trap any day. Hell yeah, then. You throw your arms out, toss your head, and tell him you're all ready to be studied and subsequently friended. Gallic doesn't count right on that, though. Mostly he looks uncomfortable, which doesn't stop him from talking. I do have considerable interest in understanding the pathos of the alien. What I really want to know is what makes you so magnetic. All observable criteria points to you not being much to look at, but there seems to be something about you that draws people in. I apologize if you're offended. That isn't even the top 10 list of insults you've heard since landing, so you brush it off just fine. Plus, you have it on good authority that your legs are nice. You flex those bad girls in order to give yourself a nice little self-esteem boost. I was wondering if you had a ministerial status, but the more I learn about you, the more difficult it becomes to make any sense of your plans. Accounts of your activities contradict each other at almost every turn. You are either the most suave and well-connected, plenipotentiary I have ever heard of, or you're running around with no clue what you are doing and somehow it works out for you anyway. I am strongly leaning towards the latter, especially after this meeting. For example, what the fuck are you doing with your legs right now? Is that supposed to be impressive to me? You mean, it's worked before. A low, frustrated clicking rumbles in his throat. He puts his coffee aside and crosses his legs. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about. I know all about your antics, leg-based and otherwise. I just cannot work out what the draw is. Why do people like this? Again, no offense to the tenant, and if you feel that way, that is on you. I am just trying to understand. He seems pretty fixated on this. You wonder if perhaps he has some hidden reason for wanting to know why other trolls might be into your freaky little self. Some sort of personal interest in another troll's friendship decisions and inclinations and interests. Just, maybe. You wait for him to blush, but he doesn't. He does start talking very quickly, though. First of all, I do not know what you mean by that. I do not base my self-worth on anything so external. Hypothetically, if I did happen to be invested in what someone else thought of me, I would not tell you about it. Furthermore, just because I am not a freak does not mean I do not have desirable... just because I am not a freak does not mean I do not have desirable traits. You would probably just tell him anyway. You would probably just... Let's see. I would not tell you about it. You would probably just tell him anyway. I mean, any hypothetical mutual acquaintance. You'd think he'd probably keep going forever now that he started letting it all out, but there's a sound behind you that shuts him the fuck up. You both turn to see his Lucius, a big, scruffy goat, gently headbutting the baby gate. It looks extremely friendable. Feed the beast. As much fun as it to get monologued at, you opt for a change of pace and ask Gallic if this goat is a good boy. If you call him breaking into my book hive and eating important chapters of my manuscript good, then yes, he's the best. Is in the pre-novel phase, if you were wondering, is more of an experiential word rumpus. To be fair, raising writing for me also makes his presence in my life a net positive. He sighs when he says it, a mix of frustrated and fond. You pull an apple-adjacent fruit from your hooded pouch. You never knew when you might have to spend the day hiding in an alley, so pocket snacks that don't make you puke are extremely useful. This is true. You offer it to Lucius. He uses his teeth and tongue to pull it to him through a hole in the gate. Nice. You don't have to have a crisis about whether or not you should let him into the room, because once he swallowed his snack, he trots back down the hallway. You mosey over toward Gallic, plop back down in the chair, and let him know you're ready to get this fact exchange party started. Wonder yourself what kind of information actually exists about aliens. You mean humans on Alternia. The fact that you have started thinking of yourself as the alien is mostly fine, you figure. It's what the trolls vibe with, which is what you're all about in the end, but it could be cool, maybe, to hear about the history of humankind from their perspective. You've been curious if anyone would know, you'd be curious, and if anyone would know, it'd be this fucking nerd. So you ask. There's absolutely nothing. I've read all kinds of reports on other alien races, of course. I can pull those for you if you would like. As for your species, I can confidently say there is no recorded history of your kind on Alternia. Okay. Sure. The economics involved would probably go over your nut bone. This is so weird. Because I'm assuming, and no one has to answer this. I'm literally just thinking aloud. But I'm assuming this takes place after Homestuck proper. So it's just so weird to me that they don't know about each other, but in the end of Homestuck we see them essentially building society together. And I remember a thought I had earlier was that because just how trolls are, they had to separate them because trolls are just superior to humans in terms of strength. So that could have been a little dicey. And it seems like human and chess people are on the same level of strength or whatever. And generally just don't want to mess with things. But trolls have that innate bloodthirst in them to destroy, it seems like. Or things that they couldn't like really intermingle with humans that much. So my guess was like a few weeks ago was that they had to separate them and they just made new Alternia or whatever. And just let society flourish. And I guess I won't really get an answer until maybe Homestuck 2, Homestuck Epilogues, or Pester Quest. Like, that's what I'm... Or maybe I'll get it, like, later on in this, where I'll finally learn the deep lore of why things are the way that they are. Because they also say this is taking place in... What was it? Hive Swap took place in 1984 or something. George Orwell, this is around that year. It was like the 80s, if I remember correctly. So technically, it could take place before Homestuck, all of this. But as well, it could be 1984, like CD or ED or whatever. We had AC, we had BC, we had AC, and now we're having like CC, EC, something like that, where. Because the trolls have such a long lifespan, and somehow Karkat also got his lifespan extended or whatever. Because kids are god tier, I don't know if that really affects their lifespans or not. But they're essentially the gods of the new world. So this could just be so many years after that event. And at some point they're like, hey, trolls are trolls. Let's have them go somewhere else for now. And then kind of the history of the alien trolls just wasn't really messed with because the OG Homestuck crew was just kind of doing their own thing because they don't want to interfere with human lives. Oh, wow. So you're the first of your kind to visit, huh? You flex again and brag that maybe that's the secret of why everyone is so hot for your friendship. But even Gallic can tell you're not really feeling it. If you say so, are you some kind of high blood equivalent back home? Is that why you're so friendable here? What is your planned system of government and why do you fit into it? And where do you fit into it? What are your main off-world exports? What were some defining moments in your species development? Have you formed any bonds here that you would say fit your plan's equivalent of a quadrant system? Suddenly, supposedly friendable. I still have yet to feel the impulse. If so, with whom? Well, there's this girl named Polly Paw. You're not ready to take the space SAT. You're too busy trying to sort through the idea that you are literally the only option for him to learn any of this shit. The only one of your kind around. You feel like the frame surrounding your life has shifted, like everything around you zoomed out to the widest angle, with you a tiny speck in the corner, invisible to the naked eye. Oh, maybe you should sit down. Oh fuck, you were already sitting down. Maybe you should just lie down. Crawl onto the floor, which Gallic probably won't like, but you're too busy having an existential crisis to care. God damn it, that's a lie too. You definitely still care what he thinks of you. It isn't the first time you felt overwhelmed by a situation since you landed. It isn't even the 100th. Honestly, it's just that you kind of always had a back pocket assumption that there'd be some way out of this. Sure, you're having fun making friends and allies, summoning a new wardrobe, picking up weird survival skills. It just hadn't quite hit you that this might be all that was left for you. For real. Is this for wriggling another alien friendship ritual I just do not grasp the allure of? Or are you spontaneously suffering? Please stop whatever this is. I am not sure how I'm supposed to tell the difference. You wanted to answer him, but the words feel so far away in this moment. Try to call up how you crashed or what the ass you were doing in a spaceship to begin with. Are you even a certified astronaut? Do you even have an advanced degree? Do you have hands? Your vision blurs and you feel queasy. You need air, a lot of it. You run toward the closest available source, a wide window. Demonstrating yourself is maybe not the best option, but is the one you are currently the most emotionally attuned to. So that is what the fuck you do. Luckily, the panes of the window open like French doors, and you're still on the first floor. You spill out without breaking any glass or limbs. Behind you, Gallic hollers. It still feels nice outside. You lay there and breathe in and out and try to pull your shit together. From your prone position, you can see Gallic put one leg up over the windowsill, shake his head, and then pull it back and turn away. He certainly looks fit enough to be able to manage that leap, but of course, he wouldn't bother. He should give up on your hot mess of an alien self. You're fine wasting away out here like yesterday's banana peels anyway. Ready to take a depression nap right then and there when you hear the front door open. Gallic is stomping toward you, flushed and fuming. He looms above you, his large frame quaking with anger. Listen here, you little shut maggot. I have opened my home to you. I have opened my mind to the possibility of understanding you. Despite multiple instances of you not offering me the same courtesy, I only want to correct your misconception about me and to have a chance to exchange some cultural understandings. You'll be the worst ambassador I've ever heard of. No, you sit up and promise that he's been great. The best and smartest friend you've made yet. A great host, excellent even. It's not his fault you're not clicking like you do with other people. If that were true, why would you spend this entire visit acting like a fresh hatched idiot? At this point, I've concluded that you are mocking me and my genuine interest in you. There is no other explanation for your behavior. Do not begin to insult me by claiming otherwise. Try to explain that you were just in your feelings, but he has stopped humoring you. He turns on his heel and stomps back inside. You want to hope that he'll come back. The drive to understand outweighing the drive to be done with your sorry ass. But you know he won't. Drag yourself to your feet and start the slow, lonely walk to somewhere. Anywhere else. When they open window, his Lucius cocks his head to the side and softly bleats his goodbyes. He wanted to come back. He did. Look at him. Stay on topic. Please ignore him. He just wants to get in here and cause problems. He will wander away in a minute. You think hard to yourself about this. You really want to go pet the big goat dad, but you want to dish about this guy's love life even more. You've heard some about this situation from the other side, of course, but you really shouldn't let Gallic know that Tagora tells you about their tentative and awkward pitches flirtation. Else, you know, it helps you get more friends. No, you slap your own cheek to snap yourself out of it. No secret spilling. Gallic leans away from you against the back of his chair. Fuck, you are really not doing anything to change my impression of you. You have an idea, so you cut him off before he can monologue you to death. You tell him that it sounds to you like what's really bothering him, a regular non-freaky guy, that he's jealous of your free-spirit friendability. He wants what you've got. He glares at you, his breathing quickening. Oh yeah, you hit a nerve. Also, you guys may have noticed a lack of squeaking from my chair as I moved about. That's right, we finally got the chair fixed. No more squeaking. I do not want anything of yours. What is it you mean by that, though? What is it exactly that you have got? He is not. Never mind, redact that. I reiterate my previous convectuous stance. Interrupting him has worked pretty well so far, so you try it again. Let's cut the shit, you say. There's no reason for him to hide anything from you. First of all, you already promised to like him no matter what. Secondly, you know what it's like to want to impress someone. And finally, you know all about how to be a huge motherfucking weirdo. So, why doesn't he let you show him how to walk on the wild side? He can take a few pointers from Alternia's biggest freak. You can see the ensuing makeover montage already, and you start bouncing a bit in his seat. I have zero interest in. Oh, okay, that won't do. You try one more tactic. Telling him you guess he doesn't mind not knowing shit about how to be a freak. Old Gallic, they'll all say, smart at how to be boring. A real big dumbass about weird stuff. Huh, I see what you're doing. It stands to reason that allowing you to broaden my horizons with your alien ways will only serve to increase my cultural competence. Unfortunately for me, it will absolutely work. Great. So what will it be? Shopping for a new, more casual suit? Or maybe something wilder? Spicy undergarments? Dyeing your hair? Other weirder body mod? Gallic eyebrows shoot up. Oh, that last one sounds interesting. Well, he's really ready to go whole ass, huh? You weren't expecting that from this guy, but you guess maybe he was waiting for an excuse to try something? That, or he's really can't deal with not being Alternia's biggest obnoxious know-it-all. Go big or get cold, as they say. Damn, that probably is what they say. Anyway, can't wait to get this show on the road. You tell him you even know a guy that can probably help him out. Will he be discreet? I am willing to leap into this, but I do need to protect my privacy, of course. Oh, for sure. You mean like, probably? His brow furrows, either at your continuing interruption or your hesitance. So you waste no more time and whip out your palm husk. You pull up the secret gripe profile you got Malik to make so you can keep in touch, and call him up. What's up, bro, buddy? You get right to it and tell him you made a new friend who's looking to get a new hole put into him. A new hole. Oh, hi there, ma'am. How are you doing? At the age of 28, I'm still fucking squeaking. Behind you, you hear Gallic choke on his coffee. Artistically, an aesthetic whole, Galax shrugs weakly, his eyes still wide. Or something similar. Hell yeah. Anything for you, bud. Alex's eyes dart from your face to the room behind you. You're not sure how much you can see through the screen, though. My gear equals night. My gear is easy to pack up, so I'll be over soon. I'll bring options. You start to give him directions, but he stops you. Don't worry, I know exactly where you are. Your palm husk is low-jacked. Figured you'd be cool with that. That actually is probably going to be a lifesaver. Oh, his name is Snake Bites. Neat. See you soon. Malik hangs up and you grin at Gallic to reassure him. This seems like a manageable situation. He offers you more coffee, which you take because you are a polite guest. Gallic starts ideating in a small leather-bound notebook, so you mostly watch, listen to him explain the brainstorming process, take sips, and wish the goat would come back. Eventually, you hear soft footsteps approaching. Gallic jumps when Malik opens the baby gate. How'd you get in the front door? I hacked it. Gallic mouth opens and shuts a few times. His eyes dart between your and Malik's matching hoodies. Just kidding. Your operation is pretty low tech for an Indigo, unfortunately. Your Lucis let me in. Anyways, I'm Malik. And from behind him, a proud bleeding. Hell yes. Gallic looks around and wrings his hands. There's a lot going on all of a sudden. He points to you. You, alien, hold on to my Lucis. He cannot be unsupervised in here, or he will eat everything. As for you, Malik, hello, my name is Gallic. Malik and Gallic. Welcome to my hive. Things are not typically so hectic here. I apologize. That is not a problem. I hear you want to get freaky. Gallic tugs at the bottom of his suit jacket, straining it reflectively. Poor dude. You want to tell him you're proud of him for going so far out of his depth, but he seems to be holding his own here. Plus, the goat really wants to make a snack out of some old paperbacks. You take your job seriously and hold on tight to his neck. That is correct. I hear you have the tools to help me achieve this. I am open to a wide range of modifications. My notebooks has some sketches. I will need to be able to hide it easily under clothing, however. Look only at the last 6 pages. Flip to an unauthorized section and you will lose the privilege of using your eyes ever again. You want to dutifully look and not touch too, but wrangling a big goat is a full-time job. Malik holds up the notebook for you both to see. Well, Gallic's not a bad artist. Actually, still you have to kind of turn your head and squint to make out what is going on in a couple of the sketches. I guess there are still a few surprises left for you in the brave new world of troll anatomy. Huh. You point to the sketch you like best with one hand as they scramble to keep hold of a fistful. You point to the sketch you like best with one hand as you scramble to keep hold of a fistful of wriggly Lucis fur with the other hand. Yeah, I can work with that. Hell yeah, button up some layers off. Wait, what? Hell yeah, button up, get some layers off. Ah, okay. Gallic flicks his eyes to you and you give him a big square thumbs up. You look politely away when he starts taking off his jacket. Instead, you focus on your job and you have some pocket snacks. You pull out some mostly not bruised fruit and offer it to Galax's Lucis. He chomps it up readily and calms down a bit. Geez, can't Malik afford food for this guy? He eats plenty. He is only being dramatic, I can see that, yeah. Look at that shitty grin. Gallic doesn't take off his undershirt, but he does roll up the bottom of it before leaning his forearms against the back of one of his chairs, exposing the broad palette of his hips and back. That design does capture an ineffable facet of my core self. Get going on it. I assume I do not need to spell out any potential consequences if you stray from the artistic vision, correct? Before I change my mind. Malik rolls his eyes and pulls out a tattoo gun. It looks mostly how they do on Earth, but with a strip of greenish, almost biological light. Do not worry, your blood color is crystal clear. Gallic winces at the first press of the gun to his skin. Or maybe it's lasers? There's a glow happening back there. With the Lucis stated, you're free to see what's going on, so you climb into the chair Gallic's leaning against the back of, and peek over to watch. So what's the deal with this anyway? Tattoos don't seem much like your vibe. There is no specific reason. I'm simply fleshing out my worldly experiences, attaining visceral knowledge of a new kind. Intense physical pain for one, though I am able to bear it. He's checking off something from his bucket list, you hopefully add. Gallic flushes bright blue and jerks backward, screeching like you haven't heard since you first met and traumatized him. Oh boy, you have no idea how. That was apparently extremely the wrong thing to say. Watch it. You're gonna make me fuck up with your ineffable vision. No need to flip your think pan. Gotta do what it takes to find a bucket, buddy. I've been there. Wait, what? Oh yeah, because buckets are indecent. Gotta do what it takes to find a bucket, buddy. I've been there. Gallic stares decidedly in the middle distance as he breathes in and out and repositions himself against the chair. This is extremely not what this is about. I am perfectly capable of fulfilling my propagandal duties. This is not a thing I have to do. This is a thing I want to do. If it happens to spark concupiscent interest, so be it. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. There's a significant thematic difference here, or deeper conversational interest. Let's see. There's not a thing I have to do. There's something I want to do. Yeah, whatever. I don't judge. You only have to the barest grasp what they're discussing here, but things are starting to click into place. You don't want to embarrass your potential new friend by calling him out on his crush even further, or by implying he can't find anyone to fill a quadrant with. You tell Malik that Gallic is making his decisions based on his own personal emotional self-educating journey, and that's all. Yes, that is the heart of it, exactly. Thank you. I'm getting lost in this conversation. Gallic smiles at you, and it's crooked and stiff on his face like he hadn't expected to put it there. Smile back and place your hand on top of his, white-knuckled against the back of the chair. He winces the pain only to once more. He winces the pain only once more before Malik steps back, tilting his head to admire his handwork. That'll do it. Gallic rolls his shoulders and twists his body around to check the new aim. Satisfied, he turns to extend his hand to Malik. Thank you for your time on short notice. Would you like to stay to... Malik shakes his head, but shakes his hand, but cuts him off there. No thanks, I'm not much for the after party. See you around, Robo-Bud. Nice to tat you up, Button-Up. He tosses the gear back in the bag and nods at you both. On his way out, he pats the goat's head, now placid. One new friend is enough for one day, I suppose. Thank you for encouraging me to try something new. I still do not completely understand you, but your penchant for flinging yourself wholeheartedly into precarious situations is fascinating. It is quite a rush, isn't it? That is what you do best. You grin uncontrollably at the compliment. I might try employing that tactic a bit more in my daily life. If it'll lead to newer, deeper grasp of the troll condition. As such, I have two confessions for you. Takes a deep breath and gets the rest out all in one go. 1. I knew only an elementary amount of information about rainbow drinkers before I met you. And 2. The reason for my friend's hinge jerk reaction at that time was because of my Gorjek-shaped blind spot. It is feelings-based. Is that the one guy's last name? Graciously do not let on that those are two of the most obvious pieces of information you've ever encountered. Gallic clears his throat and thrusts his palm hugs towards you. Now that we have taken care of that, take a photo. I can't reach. Observe me admitting these inadequacies with ease. Turns around and you lovingly set up the shot. On his hip bone is the modest rendition of his sign, in indigo of course. It's framed by 2 sprigs of pine crossed under it in a V. Look on his face as he turns back over his shoulder for the camera is the most self-satisfied thing you've ever seen. When you hand Gallic his palm husk back, he fucks with it for a minute, and then it starts buzzing with notifications after notification. He looks up at you, a smile creeping into the corner of his mouth. He bites it back like he's not sure what to do with the undefinable happiness he's experiencing. He hates it. So it's him and Tagora in like in a hate relationship almost. Is that's what this is? That's why he's happy. He's like he hates it. He's so proud. He's so happy. He fucking hates it. And then you get this fucking face. Oh my god. He hates it. It's that fucking moment with a Gumball with his one nemesis. I forget his, not Rod. Rodney? Is it Rodney? Where he starts hating Banana Joe. And Gumball's like, we used to have something, and his girlfriend's like, bro, what the fuck? Yeah, no, Penny's just like, isn't what we have in porn? It's like, Penny, you just don't get it. Like, that first hate you have with someone, like, it just means something. And like, you not like, Penny, like, okay, like, you're my girl, like, you understand, but like, he was like my guy. He hated me. And we just connected so hard through that. And now that he doesn't hate me anymore, he hates Banana Joe, like, I don't know, man. Like, it just hurts. And then Rod starts like talking to Gumball and just like, ah, man, like, I'm like, I hate you. Like, don't like, you are insufferable, but like, I'm not in hate with you. And Gumball just dies right there. Then Gumball's like, I'm gonna, well, if I can't be the guy he hates the most, I'm gonna be his bestest friend. You know, I'm gonna salvage this relationship. And then him helping, of course, is like the worst thing ever. And then Rod just goes, hi, and then Gumball's like, say it, lover boy, I hate you. And then Gumball just starts playing like In the Arms of an Angel as he has the biggest fucking smile on his face. Oh, I'm sick of one thing. Agora hates his fucking tattoo. He hates it. And then this fucking he has a kiss missus. That has to be a kiss missus. He hates it. uh, guys, he hates my tattoo. Isn't that a bad thing? No, it's the best fucking thing. Uh, oh, Skyla, my beloved. Oh, Polypop, my beloved. Tizius, you are just so fucking real. Uh, and then Chixie, the girl who just needed to learn to say fuck it. This one has me the most interested. You have a teal, and then you have just a straight up purple. I truly do not know which of the two I would do first out of Volume 18. Like this one has me more curious. Like I feel like I want to do this one last, but then there's these two who feel like they'd have more importance just because of their blood type. But I don't know, this guy and his parents' pose just gives like a sense of finality. All right. So with this, we are done for today, gamers. That was a fun chapter. That was it's just been good ones. We've just been on a streak of just good chapters. And I really don't think it's gonna let up. Like, yeah, there'll be some chapters like more than others, but it doesn't mean like the other ones are bad. It's just like probably it's just more of my taste. Like, I can definitely say 5 is better than 6, but doesn't mean 6 is bad. It's still like this. They had a really sweet moment. Yeah, no, we will close it there. So, everyone, thank you for joining me. Do look forward to more Hive Swap next tomorrow, and then next week we should be completing it. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then after that, I will begin my private reading of Homestuck the epilogues, and then after that, uh, we'll do Friend Sim. No, it's gonna go finish Hive Swap, do Family Mysteries on stream. So things are gonna happen on stream as Hive Swap, Family Mysteries, Hive Swap Act 2. And then after that, I think is where I'll have to figure something out. Because on the Discord, I'll just be updating people on the epilogues. And then when I finish Act 2, I'll be reading Homestuck 2 on the Discord. So Pester Quest won't happen for a while, and I'm still debating whether I want to stream that or if I'm gonna do that where I just update people on the progress I have, like I did for OG Homestuck. But yes, everyone, that will be it for me for today. Thank you again for coming. Hope you all had a good day and that you continue to have a good day. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.